Have you ever put off giving someone feedback because you were worried about how they'd react? Maybe you didn't want to hurt the relationship, and maybe you hoped that the problem would just resolve on its own. The truth is that great leaders don't avoid difficult feedback. They just learn how to deliver it in a way that helps people to improve. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps of the leadership feedback framework. One of the biggest mistakes that leaders make is giving feedback based on opinions. Instead, start with observations. Ask yourself, what did I actually see? Not, what do I think their attitude is? That's a huge difference between saying you're disengaged and you've arrived 10 minutes late to 3 meetings this month. What I've experienced is that people are much less likely to become defensive when feedback starts with facts. Many leaders think that feedback is about talking, but it's not. It's really about listening. And after you shared your observation with an employee, pause, then ask, can you help me understand what happened? Then actually listen, because sometimes you'll discover something that you didn't know. Feedback shouldn't stop with the behavior. As a leader, you need to explain the impact. So instead of saying, you interrupted people, say, when people are interrupted repeatedly, they stop sharing ideas and the team misses valuable perspectives. People need to understand not just what happened, but why it matters. One phrase that almost always guarantees that feedback won't lead to change is do better. Instead, work with that individual and agree on success. What specifically should change? And what does success look like? When will you check back in with them? The clearer the expectations, the easier improvement becomes. The biggest mistake that leaders often make after giving feedback is assuming that the conversation is over, but it isn't. Real leadership happens afterwards, so recognize progress, offer coaching, and answer questions. One conversation rarely changes behavior, but consistent follow-up does. Leadership isn't about pointing out mistakes, but it's about helping people to become even more successful. So the next time that you have to have a difficult conversation with an employee, remember the leadership feedback framework. Observe, listen, explain, agree, and follow up. When leaders consistently follow these 5 steps, feedback becomes less about criticism and more about growth. If you've been following this leadership conversation series, then you've now learned how to navigate conflict, address accountability early, and deliver difficult feedback that builds trust. Together, these 3 frameworks give you a practical toolkit for leading teams through difficult conversations. And if you missed the first 2 videos in this series, you'll find links to them in the description of this video. I publish new leadership videos here on the Leadership Lab 360 every other Tuesday. So if you're looking for practical tools that you can use to lead your teams, then consider subscribing. As always, I'm Catherine. This is Leadership Lab 360. If this video helped you, then help me out and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.